Hi everyone, so here's our first lesson that we're going to do remotely. We're going to pick up where we left off from Thursday's class. So we're going to do Access, Pause, and Practice 2-2 and 2-3. So March 31st is when it is due by 10 p.m. So I'm going to open up the Canvas assignment right here. So I gave you a freebie. So this is the solution to 2-2. So we're actually just going to pick up at 2-3. But if you open up your Access file, we can start working on 2-3. So of course, as always, you have to save it first. Go through the motions of saving this wherever you would normally save it. The real benefit to this method is that you can pause, you can rewind. I already saved it, so I do it. But you can pause, rewind, stop, fast forward, whatever it is you need to do. So that is the document you need. You're also going to need this service history data file to complete 2-3. So open that, save it on your desktop or wherever you would normally save it. I've already done that. Then we're going to go to your book, and as always, we go through the Activate SimNet code link. So that very first assignment, here's the link. It's going to open up your SimNet. I'm already there, but let's backtrack a little bit for you. So you're going to go to Library, pick out our book. We're in Access. We are in Chapter 2, and we're going to pick up with Pause and Practice 2-3. So right here. All right, so that's if you want to follow along. You don't need to pull up the instructions because I'm going to walk you through it, but if you wanted to follow along, that's what you need to do. Okay, so let's get started. So we're going to click on, click the Table Design button. You're going to find that in the Create tab. And then there's a Tables group. See that? And then there is Table Design. So we're going to start a new table. So we're going to add some fields to the table. So we're going to type in the field name, property box, service ID. And then for data type, we're going to do short text, which is defaulted to, but if not, remember you click on this drop down, short text. And then we're going to go over to the description. And we're going to type unique ID number for the service request. Great. All right, now we're going to click the primary key button, which is found in the Table Tools Design tab. So you can't see my full screen, so let me move my full screen up. So when we're in the table, the new tab opens up, and then there's the Design tab, and then there's the Tools group. We're going to click on Primary Key, and you'll notice it puts this little key right here. That, again, is like our anchor when we talked about the VLOOKUP for Excel. So it's the thing that both tables will have in common so you can pull data over. So we've created the primary key. So if we hit tab again, that will take us down to the second row of the table. And we're going to add in a bunch of data. So again, you can follow along with me, or if you pull up the instructions, you can type from there. So service Oh, I meant to do that down here. Skipped a line. So this one should say data service was date service was completed. All right, there we go. I'm actually going to copy and paste. Oh, maybe I can't. Copy. I'm just seeing if I can copy from the book. Looks like I can't, so we're going to have to type it in. here we go. So I just want to remind you that that the description really doesn't match anything, or because it's optional, it really doesn't play a huge role. So you definitely want to put some information in there, but if you don't type it out exactly or there are spelling errors, yeah, you don't want spelling errors, but it's not going to match, and so it's not going to pull data out. So I know some of you had issues where you're trying to import data and you couldn't because the field name didn't match exactly the field name in the data you were trying to input. The description is not going to matter here. So just type in, whatever makes sense to you. But make sure the field name and the data type are exact. Note that's odometer reading here. I'm using two screens, so it's a little bit more challenging to toggle between two. I'm kind of getting dizzy looking between the two. All right, so keep working on typing that in. And once you're done, we're going to save the table as service history. So I generally do that just by Xing out because it's going to prompt me. Do you want to save changes? Yes. So we're going to do service history. Then open that back up to make sure that it's saved over here. Go back to design view. We're going to click the row selector in the service ID field. And then in the field size property box, so here's our field properties, here's field size. We want to make that 6 because remember we said it was short text. And then yes in the required, which it's there. And then we're going to do data, service data, and continue changing the field properties according to the table in the instructions. But again, if you don't have that open, that's totally fine. We're going to, for service data, we're going to leave field size blank. There isn't even one because it's a date time. And format, we're going to do general date, which if you start to do it, it will automatically type. And then in required, we're going to do this drop down to yes, or you can type it in. Then we're going to do service type. Field size is going to be 15 because we don't want very long description in there. Required, yes. And then description is going to stay 255, but we are going to make that required as well. So yes. And then performed by, field size 3, because we're just looking for an ID number, remember. We also want that to be required. You can imagine they want this to be required because they want to know who did what when. So if anything ever was wrong, oh, this should be short text. 5. So if this was your company and anything ever went wrong, you would want to know exactly who worked on the car and what happened when. And then total cost. So we're skipping over odometer reading in hours. We're going straight to total cost. Format is currency, and required is yes. Hopefully. All right, now we're going to modify the service type field. So this field right here, to use a combo box. So we're going to click to select the service type field. So here we are, it's selected because we got our rose border. And then we're going to click on the property box for the data type property. So let me adjust my screen here, hold on. Okay, I'm back. So you can see more of the right side of my screen now. So again, we're in the service type, we're going to the data type, we're going to go to the lookup wizard, and this opens up the lookup wizard dialog box, and we want to pick the radio button for I will type in the values that I want. Click next, and then in the first cell for column 1, we're going to type maintenance. Do not spell this wrong. And then if we hit the down arrow key on your keyboard to move to the next one, we're going to type repair. And then last one, inspection. Inspection. Just make sure I don't click that wrong. This is basically saying, because we talked about service type, these are the 3 service types that we'll be able to select from. So if we are filling out the form, because we're the mechanic that did the work, we could say we did maintenance, we did repair, we did inspection when we switch over to the data sheet view as opposed to design view. So I'm going to hit next because we're going to keep moving through this. And then we want to limit it to a list. So it's basically going to be like a drop-down list in the form. And then hit finish. All right. So now we want to create a relationship between the equipment and the service history tables. So we got to close out of all of our tables. It's going to prompt us, do we want to save our changes? Yes. So now we have no tables open. So let me move this again. So here's our 2 tables. None of them are open. You cannot have any tables open when you want to create a relationship. And then we're going to click on the relationship button. So that is in the database tools tab. And then there's a relationship group. So we're going to hit relationship. And then we want to click on the show tables. Oh, well, mine appeared, but you want to make sure your show table window opens, but if not, you can click on the relationship tools, relationship tools design tab. Here we are. And then in the relationship group, if this were not open, there would be a show tables option, but it's here, so we can see it. Yours should have done that too. So we're going to click on both of these to add the tables, and then add, and then close, and then you can make them bigger so you can see all the information in the tables. And then you're going to drag the equipment ID from the equipment table. So this is the equipment table, service table is at the top. So equipment ID to the FK equipment ID. So when we do that, it opens up the edit relationship window. And it just verifies that you want to match the equipment ID to the FK equipment ID. So it's just reinforcing to make sure you didn't click somewhere wrong. It's just really reinforcing. And then we always click enforce referential integrity, which is basically just, it's sort of that when we're doing the VLOOKUP and we would type false at the end, it's basically saying I want an exact match. And then cascade update related fields. And that's just saying if any fields are updated, it would just show cascade them. And then we're going to click create. So you'll see that here we have our relationship. So it goes from equipment ID all the way down to FK equipment ID. So we've basically created this link between the two. All right, so we're going to hit close. It's going to ask us if we want to save it, and we're going to say yes. So that's good to know. And now we're going to use that information that we had saved earlier. And